Welcome to Story Ideas on the Fly.
Where we pick a random idea from a hat.
And then we just try to develop it.
If you like any of the ideas here, feel free to take them for your own stories.
Ideas are free.
So, here is our test. The prompt is, what if the hero is an ostrich? Go.
Okay, the hero's an ostrich, so then what would he be trying to fight? Is he trying to fight against a zookeeper?
Okay, well, there are two main routes you could go with this.
Mhm.
One, actually, no, three. One is you could do the classic anthropomorphized animals, where all the characters are animals, and then just make the character an ostrich.
Yeah.
That's the boring way to handle it. Option two is you don't give the animals human society, but you just make it a story about an ostrich. So maybe an ostrich trying to escape from the zoo, or trying to do something.
Mhm.
However, the big problem with that is ostriches don't really have too interesting of lives. And then the third option is you have an ostrich which is somehow intelligent enough to understand humans, trying to help with a human conflict.
That sounds like the fun one.
That sounds like the fun one.
He
So
experimented upon ostrich that
Yeah,
has
what
to
if
save
it was-
humanity.
yeah, like some scientists were working on a way to give animals human level intelligence, and they succeeded on this ostrich, and now there's some big threat to the world, and this ostrich has to save them.
So, how about a dystopian society, but that it destroyed itself because of these experiments that they were doing on people and animals and things like that? So horses have become extinct, so the hero rides an ostrich, but the hero isn't very smart, so the ostrich is his steed and has to advise him all through the book.
Or the human acts like he's the one in charge and he's the
But
hero, while the ostrich is actually the smart one doing all the
Pulling all the strings.
Does the hero realize it, that the ostrich?
Oh, that could be fun if the hero doesn't.
Because
Rides a mount of an ostrich. Okay, so that's
completely
yeah,
different
ostriches
idea.
can be ridden like horses.
yeah, that's a possibility.
Mhm.
If they don't
I
take
don't
about
see
it.
how I don't see how that works with a dystopia at all, but we could work with that. I think high
think she
fantasy
meant-
works better.
I think
Yeah, I
she was
think I-
meaning kind of like a post-apocalyptic where, there was a major
Well, that's not
catastrophe.
dystopia, though. That's just
Well, that's
post-apocalypse.
post-apocalyptic. If we want to get the horses
Those two
extinct,
go hand in hand a lot.
but if we want a hero riding an ostrich, I'd say go with fantasy.
Yeah, probably.
Besides,
that means that
plenty of
mounts
fantasy
of-
characters ride weird mounts.
Good points.
So
Fair
if
enough.
that
So that
means
means
we go
that
with
we're
fantasy.
actually going with some kind of magically enhanced ostrich?
Yeah,
instead of
magically
scientifically?
enhanced instead of scientifically, because in that case we're doing fantasy. All right,
Mm.
so we
Alright.
have a magical ostrich that is as
It's a
intelligent.
fairy ostrich.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
that
sweet.
works. So yes.
A fey ostrich!
Oh, so the hero was as part of the is prophesied to save the world, and so a fairy gifted him a steed that would be able to help him through his quest. It would happen to be an ostrich because they are weird like that. However, the ostrich is smarter than the hero and has to basically do all the work.
Mhm.
That we could work with. That
That's
sounds like a
pretty
fun
fun.
story.
Okay, so then what would be the kind of catastrophe that he's facing, and why would he be the one destined to do it? Should I just go with the classic Dark Lord?
That is a classic.
Hmm.
There are plenty of conflicts you could get. This one doesn't shoot out any. Here's the conflict you need for this kind of story, so you could really go with anything.
Let's see.
Well,
all
why would
going
your
in
hero be
fairies.
the one chosen? Is there something special about your human hero?
Well, if
that
you do
makes
go with
it-
it being some kind of demonic problem, then you could go with he's half angel.
True.
Mm.
I was thinking you could also go with some kind of lineage succession where
Yeah,
he's
I like
the
the
proper
lineage
heir.
thing, or has.
So he's the ancestor of a
No,
certain
he's
knight.
he's a descendant of a
Descendant,
knight, and the
that's
only
what I
one
meant.
able to wield the sword that can save the
Ah.
world type thing. That one
Because
works.
it was made, the sword was forged.
Forged by his ancestors, for his
And it
ancestors.
is bound by
And it's bound by
blood.
his bloodline.
Nice.
So he has to be the one to save the world because he's the only one that can wield the demon-slaying sword that can ward off the demonic invasion or whatever the
Okay.
conflict is.
Don't mind Demon Lord. That makes sense.
Or otherworldly invasion, something. Invasions are
Something on the
classic.
lines of, demonic
So
invasion.
in that case, yeah, and then he's the only
Demon
one.
King usurpation.
Yeah, and he's and there's only a sword, the sword that can kill him, but the hero himself is completely incompetent.
So the Fairy Queen gifts him with this magical ostrich
Steve,
to help
that
him
can
out.
actually.
I
That
wouldn't
those are
mind
two things.
seeing, instead of a demon lord, a dark wizard. Because if we have a dark wizard, then part of his ability could be to control animals or some magic with animals.
Or the
And
undead. If
that's-
we make it a lich works perfectly for this.
Oh,
and that
yeah.
pulls in the ostrich into, working more with trying to help other animals, use other
You could do
animals.
that, yeah.
I like that. I like the idea of making it a lich because liches love their undead minions. Liches are notorious for having large groups of minions, all undead, animal or human regardless. They're a minion.
A legion of animal undead could be quite
Could be
visually
terrifying.
interesting.
Now I'm wanting to see an army of undead rhinoceri just charging a village.
No. The undead rhinoceri are in the front, followed up by a bunch of undead elephants.
There you go.
And then the undead monkeys end up scavenging everything. Wait, no, you have to also throw in the raccoons. They're way too good at scavenging.
The undead monkeys and raccoons come in after the battle and steal all the armor and stuff so that he can equip some of his undead soldiers who actually wear armor.
Undead gorilla armor.
Exactly.
Does the ostrich get a girl?
Okay,
give her a
well,
girl.
it's an ostrich, so
Also, it's not a normal
No.
ostrich.
A girl ostrich?
Well, here's the big problem with giving the ostrich a romance, and that's that he's a unique specimen.
Yes.
Since this is not a world where all ostriches are hyper intelligent, so you'd have to find a way to give him an ostrich that was just as intelligent as he is.
Then the ostrich sets the hero up with the love interest.
That would be funny.
Oh yeah, that would be funny.
That
But
would
having
be
the
very
ostrich get a
funny.
love interest itself,
Especially
ostriches
if
would
in
never
the
do
end
that.
no-
Ostriches do not have that kind of
Yeah,
relationship.
they don't mate for life either, I don't think so.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
but I
don't.
could see the ostrich finding it fun to give the hero a
Playing
romance.
matchmaker.
Okay.
And no matter how much he figures out, everyone always just gives the human hero all the credit and go.
Yeah. The hero
And the ostrich is just like,
Yep, he definitely thought of that. He definitely wasn't going to charge headfirst
by
into that
himself.
entire army and suicide himself into them. Yep, that totally wasn't his
That'd be a lot of
plan.
fun.
Does the ostrich want the credit, or does he specifically not want the credit?
I think it might be better if the ostrich doesn't care about the credit, where he doesn't try to want it.
Mhm.
Where it's just it might just be easier for him to say, "Hey, I'm just an ostrich. I'm definitely just an ostrich."
Or you could have that be part of the character arc for the ostrich, where he
Learning to be a
initially
Samwise
feels-
Gamgee, who's just like, I don't have to be the one to throw the
initially
ring
he
in.
feels a
I
little
just have
bit
to hear
frustrated
you.
that the guy always gets the credit for everything he does, but as the story progresses and he comes to love the incompetent, lovable idiot of a hero, that he decides, okay, this isn't so bad.
And I think the hero himself, he should not be very clever or intelligent, but I think he should be really good at what he's good at, which is fighting. Because that
So
way you
you're
have
saying
the
he's a meathead. with
yeah,
a
you give him a
sword.
meathead,
with a sword.
but everyone thinks he's super clever because the ostrich is. But he's like, no, he is this meathead who is like, oh, I will fight for the right and the justice and
So
for
he's not a
for
coward.
truth,
for
And they-
glory!
for all things good. It's like, you do realize you have literally no plan here, right? All right, ostrich, give me your plan.
I think part of his character arc could be going from the total meathead who's just charging and not think to kind of learning, hey, wait, I've got to play to my strengths. Yes, I am strong. I'm not good with strategy, but what I've got to learn, this ostrich here, understand strategy. I've got to learn to work with my resources.
Mhm.
And so, no, he doesn't necessarily become this, book scholar or something. But I would like to see him grow and be more than just a meathead at the
Obviously,
end.
you always
And
need
so, right,
character development.
right. And so, but
Very
I think
cute,
he could learn.
relationship.
I think he could learn to go. No, it's not me. I'm just using my resources. And of course, every time he says it was the ostrich's idea, people are going to laugh at him.
Yeah.
Actually,
Nobody
some of it
believes
sounds
that.
like it might be fun. So at one point, the ostrich ends up for some reason like being kidnapped or something, and so he's going, "Okay, what would the ostrich do? What would the ostrich do?"
It could be even funnier if he goes and asks other animals.
That could be very interesting. You can have some very fun scenes with this.
So,
One thing you could do is have the hero. His special abilities are he can wield the lich slaying sword, and have his second special ability being the gift from the fairy that gave him the ostrich. Have also given him the gift to be able to talk to animals. But he only
There
ever
you
talks
go.
to his ostrich steed, and so he doesn't realize that. So when he does talk to the other animals, they're all idiots. Food. It's like, okay, maybe.
Did you see someone come by here a few hours ago?
I think
You
it's
talk. You talk. So, why is the human talking? Why is the human talking? We need to hide.
Dude, what?
I think a side villain of someone who realizes that there are some enhanced fairy animals is after them.
Yeah, that could be cool. Side
Yes, it's
villain.
always good to have multiple villains. In
Oh,
my
always.
opinion.
Always.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's something you don't need to like pitch in the base concept.
Okay.
All right.
Do we have
So-
an idea?
I
think
think
so.
we do.
Who thinks they could write this story? I could.
I'm
I'm sure I
You
could.
know you
I could do
You
it.
can write any story.
I could do it.
Be a
If you want to
good
give it
writer.
that much,
Short
just join
story.
in the group.
All right. Well, say goodbye to your audience, and we'll be back
Bye,
next time.
audience.
Farewell.